What is going on YouTube? K93 here with a remastered version of my Inverse Sonic tutorial. The Inverse Sonic is, I guess, just another Sonic variation, and actually probably the more easy to understand Sonic variation rather than all the ones that I just did. But continuing on with learning Sonics, this is what this video is here for, and the trick looks a little bit something like this. So, as we all know, the modifier or the word inverse in pen spinning usually means that the trick is done on the other side of the hand or the other side of the finger. That's why it's inverse. So, we've been learning, or you guys have probably already learned the Sonic, which is the regular fundamental, the Sonic. And we also learned its reverse and a bunch of variations and stuff and hybrids that are named Sonic. But the inverse Sonic is probably conceptually, again, the easiest one to understand. And as I mentioned, the word inverse means the other side of the hand. And since the Sonic goes behind the middle finger, at least if you're doing it from 2-3 to 1-2, then it only makes sense that the inverse Sonic, again, 2-3 to 1-2, would actually mean that the pen goes in front. That was bad, sorry. In front of the middle finger, just like that. And so we're going to kind of pick apart the normal Sonic and see what makes it different from an inverse Sonic. So the regular Sonic starts off in this kind of position, and as I mentioned in a lot of the fundamentals, or at least in that and the charge, and some of the hybrids that follow from that, you hold it like the pen like this, and then there's a swinging motion, right? And when you do the normal Sonic, after you do this swing, and it gets to the point where the pen is just about parallel with your fingers again, just like this, I instructed you guys when learning the Sonic to, at this point, you would bend your, not drop the pen, but you would bend your middle finger forward a little bit or towards you, and then you would kind of clamp a little bit the pen between the index and the ring finger, let it spin, and then just catch it kind of like that. So you do have this little the swing part at the beginning of the normal Sonic. Now, the difference between that and the inverse Sonic is that the inverse Sonic does not have that. You are immediately, sorry, that was bad. You're immediately going from this to already thinking about what you need to be doing with your middle finger. So you don't get that little like kind of mental preparation to think, okay, I need to move my middle finger forward right after I do this step. No, it's just kind of like you start and then boom, you do it. So the trick is a little bit more difficult in that the timing is different. The trick generally is a little bit faster, a little bit because of that reason. And the coordination needs to be kind of relearned in terms of what you need to do with your middle finger. Again, a lot of people struggle with the Sonic. It's one of the tougher fundamentals. And after practicing the Sonic for so long, a lot of people kind of, that's the only thing they have in terms of muscle memory for the middle finger. And trying to basically do the inverse of that is very challenging and, very understandably so. So when I said that the trick kind of starts immediately after the release, what I mean is that, and you can consult the slow-mo for this in case it doesn't make any sense, but from the starting position here, you already immediately, once you release the pen, which is like you lift your thumb up off of the pen, or, if you're just kind of holding it like this anyway, the first thing you should be thinking about when doing an inverse Sonic is that you need to move your middle finger back, right? So in the normal Sonic, we moved our middle fingers kind of forward to let the pen spin behind it. We're doing the opposite here. We're moving our middle finger backward to let the pen spin in front of it. Now, I didn't quite do it right there, but that was supposed to give you an idea that the pen is going from here, and I'm going to try to control it with this hand over here. You push your middle finger back, and at the same time, your ring finger is going to come up and your index finger is going to come down. So it goes from here. Again, if you're holding it at a standstill with your thumb, you lift your thumb up, you move your your middle finger back, move your ring finger up and your index finger like that. And then the pen is already in front of your middle finger, which is nice. You do that and you just kind of let the pen spin and do its thing there. So again, conceptually, it is a very easy trick, but because we've been doing the Sonic for a very long time, since the beginning of, our pen spinning training, if you will, or practice, it's just a matter of kind of relearning the muscle memory for, instead of doing, that swing and then moving your finger forward, it's just you have to get rid of that swing idea or get rid of the timing in your mind that you have that swing there. and then just go immediately into, okay, I'm ready to do an inverse sonic. I have to immediately release the pen and move my middle finger back. And then we do that, the pen just kind of naturally by gravity, and by the position of where it is in your fingers will naturally just kind of swing up like that. So you can practice that for a while. I'm just holding the pen here. It does help if the most of the weight of the pen is on top or pointing this direction. So that's why I'm holding this pen like this. And then you want to, like when you do release your thumb, your thumb's keeping it like kind of pointed upward right now. When you let go of that, gravity's just gonna naturally bring it down. And if you combine the fact that gravity is pulling it down with the fact that you're moving your middle finger back, like the pen's already going to naturally kind of go in the right direction, right? And you just have to make sure that your middle finger is far back enough that when you do this, the pen doesn't hit it like that and then just kind of stays in the 2-3 finger slot. You want to make sure that you move it back far enough that the pen, due to gravity and of course the force of your ring finger and middle finger, or index finger rather, pushing it in the way that I said to. So again, that would be pushing your ring finger up, or not even. You can either push your ring finger up at the same time that your index finger is coming down, or you just kind of push your index finger down a little bit. And then your ring finger acts as kind of like a fulcrum to a lever. So just practice that. Practice holding it like this, and then letting go with your thumb, moving your middle finger back, and then kind of using your index finger to push the pen down. And when you do that, get to the point where the pen is, like that, where the tip, if you're using a single-sided mod anyway, or even just a normal single-sided pen, get to the point where the tip then, after you do that, just goes into the 1-2 finger slot and is pointing behind you. And at that point, it's just like half a charge more until you finish off the trick. So, sorry. Slippery fingers and cold hands, bad combination. But anyway, that is the inverse sonic in a nutshell. Again, there's not much I can advise you guys do instead of just practice. Again, you are trying to rewrite over your muscle memory, so that will take a while to get used to, depending on what kind of learner you are and how much you practice this trick. But again, the concept is very simple. Instead of the pen going behind your middle finger, again, in a 2-3 to 1-2 case, you are making the pen go in front of your middle finger with a, again, 2-3 to 1-2 case for an inverse sonic. So the mentality is just that you have to act immediately after you release it instead of having that little swing time in the middle. And I think that is the part that tricks people up the most, is that coordination that they're not used to. At least when they think, okay, I'm going to do some sort of sonic, they might think, okay, I had that little timing in the middle or in the beginning to prepare for whatever I have to do next. But again, with inverse sonic, it's much more immediate, and right after the release, you have to do that. So that will do it for my inverse sonic tutorial. Again, consult the slow-mos at the beginning and the end of the video if you guys are having trouble. And as always, if you feel like it, you can always ask below and I can try to help you out there. But that will do it for this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching. And if you guys haven't already, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more content in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next video.